This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Grant.
Grant, happy 100th episode. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Hey, that's all that matters.
Put myself together.
I appreciate that. I know it takes you a while to pamper yourself and get ready in the morning.
Yes, so much.
You spend like 45 minutes in makeup and wardrobe before every show.
Yeah, it's very
true. And look at what we got.
Kind of a hot mess.
It works. For those that are watching on Periscope, I mean, you guys will get a general idea of it. But anyway, welcome to the Bax and Grant Sports Show. It is our 100th episode today. It is amazing how fast time flies. And it's a bit ironic, Grant, because we did our first episode in the studio that we're in now. We are now doing our 100th episode back in that same studio. It's
because we've moved around a couple of times.
We have. This is technically our third studio. Technically, this is the first one that we had, but we moved around to two other ones as well. It's kind of crazy. So good morning to all of you that are tuning in on Periscope. We appreciate your continued viewership, guys. How you doing? Thank you for the congratulations from all of you. Today's show is going to be a little bit of an abridged version. We've got a few guests that are coming on. We'll be talking about, obviously, sports, but we're going to have a little bit of fun with it. And
right.
I've got some audio clips from earlier shows.
I'm so glad you got that working.
Some other stuff.
So glad you got that working.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. But traditionally, you will be able to catch us here Monday through Friday live on Spreaker.com from 7 to 8 a.m. Central. Also on Periscope at that same time. You can also get us on Sports Radio America, not on demand, not yet, Baxter. Read the script. On Sports Radio America, it's like I've been doing this for, a day. Good Lord. Anyway, you can get us on Sports Radio America from 11 to 1 p.m. Central. You can also get us on Live 365 and tune in, and then you can get us on demand anytime you want on iHeartRadio, iTunes, and on Spreaker.com.
You can also find us on Facebook at the Bax and Grant Sports Show. You can also find us on Twitter at BG Sports Show. We're also at Instagram at BG Sports Show. If you want to find our personal Twitter accounts, Baxter is at Baxter Colburn, and I am at Grant's Rant BGSS.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you during the show today. You can always tweet at us. Grant and I do the best we can to tweet back at you. As you heard yesterday, or 2 days ago, Grant was trying to be more active on Twitter, especially now that the Wisconsin Badgers football team follows him.
Right, and especially since I was...
He's like morally obligated to tweet more.
Since I was rather ill yesterday, I had a little bit more time on my hands.
Were you live tweeting yesterday's show from the comfort of your bed?
No, I had to sleep in a little bit and then get to class.
That whole college life. But, it's...
Unfortunately.
It is. It's unfortunate.
But then after, I went back and listened to some sections when I had a little bit more time.
How'd you think Sam Wallace did yesterday?
Oh, he did absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that's why we love Sam. That's why we really do. Okay, we got to answer one question on Periscope fast. How bad is the quarterback situation with the Redskins?
It's not bad. Honestly,
It's better than the Browns situation.
Yeah, for
that
real.
helps you.
Well, no, I think Manziel is a good pick for them. The Browns just haven't noticed it yet.
Kirk Cousins or Johnny Manziel?
I would take Manziel over. Lied. Okay,
let's be honest about that.
Going back. Scratch that. I'd take Kirk Cousins over Johnny Manziel, but I don't think Cousins is a bad quarterback.
No,
I just don't think people really give him as much credit. He threw 2 interceptions last night. One wasn't his fault. One was one of those goofy bounce football off the receiver's hands. Somebody on Periscope said Browns management has no clue. That is 100% fact.
Yes.
100% fact.
That's why they'll never win a Super Bowl.
Right. But Cousins not a bad quarterback option. People are calling for his head. I don't think he had a bad game last night. He had 2 interceptions.
Redskin fans need to just stop.
He had over 300 yards.
Good for
him. He had 29 or 30 receptions, one of the two. And a lot of completions.
Yes.
Yeah, what did that?
You said receptions.
Okay,
completions. Yes, he's throwing and catching his passes.
Yes, and the big deal with the loss last night was their lack of. They had the number 1 rush offense, and they only got 60 yards on the ground last night, and their defense played absolutely horrible last night.
Matt Jones was very disappointing last night, from what I heard. And some fantasy owners that tried to pick him up, that didn't work out too well for him. Well, Grant, we need to jump. Did you bring your passport this morning?
I forgot it back at home.
Forgot it back at home. Well, you can come with me in spirit to England, as we are going to travel now to speak with our good soccer friend on the show, Simon Mitchell. Good morning, Simon, all the way from Norwich. How are you?
Yeah, good morning over there. Good afternoon over here. Guys, congratulations, 100 shows. It's fantastic to be a part of this.
Thank you so much, Simon.
An amazing achievement. Well done.
Well, we appreciate it. Well, Simon, we've got you on for a few different things today. The first thing was a little comical. And I think that it just kind of proves that the British, or maybe not on purpose, just don't care as much about hockey as we do here in the United States.
They care about hockey.
I think. Well, you don't hear
Okay,
about
maybe
a lot
not.
of famous
Maybe not the British.
The British, yes.
Other Europeans.
Other Europeans do,
but not the British. Yes, I guess
But
you're right.
there was an incident involving NHL great or just hockey legend Wayne Gretzky. He was visiting your beloved Tottenham Spurs and was given a jersey, an honorary jersey, but something was a little awry with the jersey. Can you shed a little light on that situation?
Well, just going on to hockey in the UK, it's nothing. We have field hockey, as you would call it.
Oh, right.
With,
Yep.
Curved sticks. I'm a hockey coach. My two daughters play hockey, so we have hockey, but we don't have ice over here.
But it rains all the time. I feel like
It
something would
rains, but it
freeze
doesn't
eventually.
freeze.
Wow.
No, it doesn't freeze. It's just very damp.
That just
over
sounds
here.
terrible.
No, well, Wayne Gretzky came to White Hart Lane, and Gretzky with a Z was spelt Gretzky with an S on the back of his
Ooh.
honorary shirt.
How unfortunate.
He has, however, had a replacement sent to him by the staff at Tottenham with an apology tweet, which he did respond to. He says it happens all the time, so
I remember
it seems to be a
when-
regular thing.
I remember when I messed up and I just apologized on Twitter, and that was okay.
And that was fine.
Come
Well,
on.
I guess it kind of makes sense because Gretzky, you don't really like if you think about it.
It's not-
It's not like a hard Z sound.
No.
So I can understand where you might put an S in there, but I mean, still, he's the most revered hockey player of all time.
Ooh,
so.
you wanted to say greatest, but you made it look like you were gonna. You looked like you wanted to say greatest, but then you kind of like.
I
Stopped.
thought revered was a better word. I'd have no
Revered.
problem with calling him
He
the
is the
greatest.
greatest, not
I have no problem
You're not
calling
a
him
Lemieux
the greatest.
fan or whoever those other people, because isn't it always been like it's
Lemieux?
either- Isn't
No,
it Lemieux?
not-
What's the other guy's name? It's always Gretzky and some other dude.
There's always they try to pair.
I
a
thought there
bunch
was
of
always
dudes
one
with
other
him.
dude, but either way,
Not
well,
Lemieux. No.
So
no.
Was Gretzky just over at the game just because he just happened to be in the area, or I didn't really hear much about it.
No, what it is, it's part of Tottenham's initiative to grow the club in the US and Canada.
Oh, okay.
In North America. And due to Brad Friedel being a US ambassador, and we play a lot of friendlies over in the States post and pre-season,
Yes.
I think it's just all about raising the profile of Tottenham in and around the North America area. It's just
Okay.
as we've talked about it a few months ago, Tottenham being the base for the NFL team in the new stadium in 3 years' time. It's eventually Tottenham are going to probably be bigger in the States than I would guess Manchester United, Chelsea.
I was going to say United and Chelsea are the two front runners. You see jerseys for both of those teams respectively all over the United States. Now you bring up a good point really fast that I want to jump to about the NFL. Yesterday on the show we talked about the mayor of London pushing for an NFL expansion franchise in London, specifically in Tottenham's new stadium. Did you, from a British perspective, what's the vibe that you're getting from your friends and family around that area about the possible deal?
Well, I went to the first ever game played at Wembley Stadium, which was the Giants against the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
Sold out. I went the next year for probably
Jacksonville and somebody?
No, it was New Orleans versus San Diego.
Oh, there you go.
And I went to that, and it was sold out. And every game that's ever been played at Wembley, even when they put it up to 3 games to 4 games, and Jacksonville took as many games as they could,
Yeah.
it sells out. It's sold out this year. You can't get a ticket for all the games. So why not have one over here? The NFL is huge in the UK. It's huge in Europe. And 15, 20 years ago, we had an NFL. It wasn't the NFL. It was like the European.
So you had NFL Europe, which is kind of like the
Yeah.
minor league system for the NFL for a little bit. Guys would get sent over from NFL teams to play for a short amount of time and then come back.
It just never really took off. We had the London Monarchs.
Okay.
They played at Wembley Stadium, and it's not the same. And the problem that we see in the UK with American sports, baseball, basketball, American football, your football, and ice hockey as well. Ice hockey is slightly different because it's got a big Eastern European and Russian
Yes, yeah.
contingency. But those three, the basketball, the baseball, and the American football, you kind of own that. Nobody else has it. People can play it, but on a scale that you have in the US, it's not anywhere else. You could probably argue that Korea and Japan have got big on baseball.
I was going to say, for baseball, yeah, maybe the Asian population.
Well,
or
we
even
call
some
it
of that's-
rounders over
Rounders?
here, but we don't
Okay.
rounders. It's not quite as big. But to come back to it's almost like we set up leagues and it doesn't get the following because everybody focuses on the NFL. Mm-hmm. When you look at football, soccer, you've got the Premier League in England, you've got Serie A, you've got La Liga, you've got football leagues which are all just as big. They have just as much coverage. I mean, I'm sat here now with my telly and I've got the Dutch First Division on.
Oh, wow.
A replay. So you can watch these games on our sports channels. I've got the MLS I can sit and watch. I've got the Premier League, La Liga. Yep. You can do that with soccer, but with the NFL, with basketball, with baseball, you don't have that.
Which is a little surprising, I feel.
If you bring one to the UK, you bring a franchise like the London Silly Nannies that they had in Family Guy, you could grow the sport worldwide. And it could, rather than just being an American-based football league, you could actually have a worldwide-based league. Or you could have leagues based worldwide. Then you could have a World Cup of football. You could have something like that. You could be able to, the franchises could grow. You could have the London Jaguars, but the same as Jacksonville. You could have the Seoul in Korea could have the Raiders, so the Raiders could send players over to Seoul. It could grow. I think you just need to let go a little bit and let somebody else have a bite of the cherry.
Yeah, I really have no problems with teams starting up in the UK. The only thing that I found was a little bit concerning is that if you add one team, I feel like you're going to need to add 3 more. So you can just have a division. But then you have, like, what if you would put them in the AFC or in the NFC, then you have an off balance because right now they're balanced. So would you need to make 2 whole divisions to set them up in the AFC and the NFC just for the fact that you wanted to start one team?
Well, I think one of the things that would have to be done, you talked about doing a new division. If the NFL needs to get their act together and realign the divisions anyway, there's no reason the 2 teams in New York, one should be the AFC, one should be the NFC. If you're like what you see mostly in soccer as well is that they cut the country in half and everybody, west of basically the Mississippi is all in the Western Conference and everybody else to the right is all in the Eastern Conference. You could have London teams or England teams in the Eastern Conference, and it's a little bit, quote-unquote, shorter of a flight, but that way you don't have to deal with them playing a Seattle or a Dallas.
Right.
So, things to keep in mind. Switching sports really fast, Simon, before we let you go, you wanted to make mention of he's now being called the soccer god after his 5 goals and 9-minute performance for Bayern Munich against Wolfsburg. Robert Lewandowski, what exactly is the buzz around Europe right now? I know that in America it was fairly televised, but people just don't seem to appreciate it as much, just how great of a feat it was.
Well, let me give you some statistics. Robert Lewandowski has been one of the most prolific goal scorers in the Bundesliga for Dortmund and now for Bayern Munich. So let me just, I've gathered some data, I've gathered some facts. So Lewandowski scored more league goals in 9 minutes than Liverpool, Newcastle and West Brom have achieved all season.
Okay.
Wow.
He scored more goals, he scored those 5 goals in 9 minutes is more than 6 other Bundesliga teams have managed all season.
Oh, my.
He scored more than 7 Serie A teams have done all season. He scored more goals in 9 minutes than Wayne Rooney has done all year. That's the whole of 2015.
Oh, my.
He scored more goals than Mario Balotelli did when he was at Liverpool.
Really?
And to top it all off, you might like this one.
Okay.
He scored more goals in 9 minutes than Nicholas Bentner has scored in 3 years.
That one I do appreciate. I mean, it's kind of funny just to hear the fact. I mean, this man came on as a second-half sub. He started, and he by the time 9 minutes were up in the second half, he'd already dropped 5 goals. Like it's just
that's nuts.
That's just crazy.
You would think that what Germany did to Brazil, was because that was about the same thing. They scored 4 or 5 goals in about the same amount of time, but then you have one guy going and doing that. That's nuts.
Traditionally, who is a prolific striker who should be a starter, which is a topic for another time. But the fact that you can have somebody come off the bench, just drop 5 goals, not against a bad team. Wolfsburg is one of the top, I'd say, 4 or 5 teams in the Bundesliga.
They're probably the 3rd team in the Bundesliga.
So it's kind of crazy to think that a guy comes off the bench and does that to a very good team. This wasn't just a throw together Wolfsburg team. This is a very talented organization. But so Simon, we appreciate your time this morning. Any other final thoughts for us before we let you go?
Well, no, I was just I did have something, but it's left my head, I'm afraid.
Oh,
but,
no.
Oh no, there is one thing. Very quickly,
Yes.
I spent all morning on FIFA 16, which has just been released in the UK.
Yep.
Trying to do 5 goals in 9 minutes, and I have had it on the easiest setting, and I still cannot score 5 goals in 9 minutes. That's how terrible I am.
I've seen some memes going around too. It's like 5 goals in 9 minutes. It's like, shoot, I can't even do that in FIFA. And I think the most I've ever done is 2 in about 10 minutes. But now that's a good challenge. Now that you've proposed, are you trying to do it with Bayern Munich again, or are you just picking any random team and just trying to score?
I started with Bayern Munich against Wolfsburg, and then I decided to try Barcelona against Accrington Stanley, and even then it
still didn't work.
Even get Messi to do it. So I'll keep practicing.
Okay,
it gives me something to do.
Will you let us know how that works out for you, Simon? Thank you so much for your time today. It was great speaking with you, and we appreciate all of your continued contributions to the show.
Cheers, guys. Keep up the good work, and congratulations again on it.
Thank you so much, Simon. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day, bud.
Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Yep, you too. Bye-bye. A little British flavor to kick off the show, Grant.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Absolutely.
He's always fun to talk to.
He is. It's just a fun guy. He always
fun to listen to him
blows
talk.
me away with just the knowledge that he knows.
Oh, that one time when he pronounced that one soccer team's name, I was like Borussia Mönchengladbach or something like that. It's a German team. It was absolutely ridiculous, and I was just like, "Can you please keep on saying it?"
I know. That's why we love him. That's why we need a little British flavor on the Bax and Grant Sports Show. We're going to step aside for a moment. When we come back, Corey Plath is going to join us on the phone line to recant some of his favorite times here on the show. We'll be right back. This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show. Welcome back to the Bax and Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I am Bax.
And this is Grant.
Grant, what's today? Do you know what today is?
Not Hump Day.
That's
but I did
true.
See a Hump Day shirt on Wednesday.
Did you really?
I did. I was
that
going to send a picture to you, but I didn't want to creep. But yeah,
you should have just take a selfie, get him in the background.
Oh, that would have been great. Or just say, "I love your shirt. Take a picture with me."
Do it. Just fangirl for a moment,
for just a single
just
moment.
But yeah, moment.
It had the camel from the commercial with Hump Day written across some bold lettering on the top.
Mike. What's today? It's Hump Day. Hump Day. It's No, but today is the 100th episode of the Bax and Grant Sports Show. As we continue to tour around some of our guests that are coming, that have been on the show in the past, we now want to maneuver over to Corey Plath, who is joining us via the phone. Corey has done a fantastic job of coming on. He was on a lot over the summer. He's played Name 5 with us before. He's offered some insights into the soccer world and a few other different things. And now he is here via the phone. Good morning, Corey. How are you?
Good morning, guys. I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, absolutely fine. Grant is doing his best to stay conscious. He's a little under the weather, but it happens. That's what the mute button is here on the studio board.
Yeah, pretty much.
As long as you don't die on us, that's all I care about.
Exactly. It can't be the Bax and Blank show. That just doesn't have a good.
We actually had this conversation last night. It was like if I just went off and died, how upsetting it would have to
Yeah,
be to
we were talking about
100th episode,
having
Grant died.
an in memoriam for Grant, but thankfully we don't need to do that. So, but Corey, we wanted to just get your insights fast, just about your time with the Bax and Grant Sports Show. You mentioned to me you just had a few things you wanted to say quick. I know you're a busy working man, so I will open up the floor to you, sir, with whatever you'd like to say.
Yeah, I'll keep this short and brief. But I just remember when I was coming on to the show over the summer when Grant was doing whatever he was doing out west.
Hog tying his son in the front yard.
If you want to count South Dakota or North Dakota or wherever you were west. But it was a blast to see where the show was, even, midway through? A little over midway through the milestone you just achieved. But the amount of strides that you guys have come since you started, I listened to the first broadcast about a week and a half ago, and it's just
dug that one out of the audio vault.
Overwhelming difference between what you guys sounded like then and what you sound like now. And I can only imagine where this thing is headed. I'm super proud of you guys, and I wish you only the best.
Well, we appreciate that, Corey. Thank you. Yeah, it's been quite an interesting road. We've transitioned from a lot of different things to where we are now. And
yeah, if you go back listen to that first episode,
Lord.
it sounds like we're in a wind tunnel.
It's like, okay, and we're going to play you playing a few clips here in just a little bit from some previous episodes. But Corey, we appreciate your time with the show and a lot of the stuff that you do behind the scenes as well. You've done a lot with the marketing aspect of our show also. So from Grant and I, thank you for that, and we appreciate all that you're doing. Grant is giving you a silent clap in the studio. So I know that you're a busy man. You got to get back to that thing called work, but we appreciate you taking the time, and we'll look forward to chatting with you again, hopefully next week.
Yeah, congratulations, guys. Huge milestone.
Appreciate it, Corey. Thank you. Corey Plath, a good friend of the show, and one of our marketing guys that really makes the wheels flow and go and
make the wheels
chug.
go around.
Exactly.
Like a bus.
Choo choo.
Wheel, choo choo.
I don't know. Round and round.
A bus.
Sometimes the bus can choo choo.
Can it whip a nay nay?
Hey. Maybe. I don't know. Well, Grant, at the 100th episode, it would be a disservice to the good people if we did not have your rant, so we're going to have your rant. Well, Grant, on our 100th episode, it's only fair that you rant about a sport that you have a very near and dear passion for. That would be underwater basket weaving.
Yes, of course.
Last year, you went all stage, Grant, in underwater basket weaving. I was so proud. So proud.
I mean, I practiced really hard.
It's a hard sport.
Hell Week was rough. My two-a-days. That was a little painful.
That HBO special you did on that, too?
Yep.
Man, oh, man. You are just you're very fortunate, Grant. Well, what do you got for us? With a minute on the clock, Grant, your rant will begin.
Once you can get the time
now,
started.
Go.
All right. So the Patrick Kane sexual assault case has just kind of really interesting this last week. The defense attorney for the female accusing Patrick Kane, that's his name, pulled out. I cannot pronounce his name because it has a lot of vowels and it's weird. And so he pulled out because the rape kit or the evidence bag was dropped off at the mother's front doorstep, which, A, how did that get out of the evidence locker? B,
someone's
who
gonna get
put
fired.
It there? And, C, is the mom telling the story? So all these factors, Patrick Kane's lawyer came out and, took that and ran it with stride and was like, hey, something is wrong. This case is all off because somebody could have tampered with the evidence, which they really could have. So that kind of has sunk the case. The lawyer has now, or the defense attorney, or the attorney for the woman going against Kane has pulled out now because it's really kind of a dead case now because you can't take anything in that evidence kit.
Can't take that anywhere.
And you cannot take anything in that for what it is now because somebody could have tampered with it. So you really have to throw that out, and without that now, you really don't have a lot of evidence that I have heard being brought forward. So now the case is kind of dead because of that.
Wow.
Yeah, because I got a notification to my phone the other day, and I was like, what? The evidence bag? It was so weird to me.
Just the way they phrased it and everything?
No, just saying that it was brought out. It was evidence bag left on assault whatever.
Accuser's front door or something?
Yeah, accuser's mother's front door.
How do they
find
the
just
mother's front door?
I don't know.
Some
So
people.
it's kind of like what people are assuming is that the person knows who it is, so they dropped it off at her mother's.
It's like a
because they
weird
know who her
like
mother is.
CSI episode or something. Be like, they know. Bum, bum, bum.
And then
something.
you get abducted and then dissect or something like that.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Sounds like a good
it-
plot for a movie if anybody wants to
Yeah,
write
there
it.
you go. You're welcome. We'll only take 50%. But it was just so weird, and I clicked on it, and I was just reading, and the attorney for this woman said it was like he's never seen this in like his 30 years of doing this, and I'm like,
Wow.
you never hear about
People
this.
get more crafty as the years go on, I feel
How
like.
did they get it out of a police evidence locker?
Have you never watched any crime show ever, Grant?
Well,
It's
yeah,
possible.
but
those
'cause-
security guards are stupid.
Jeez.
Like, you can fool them, man. You can mess with them.
Right.
No, I don't think that's
But
actually.
yeah, but this is in Buffalo.
Well,
It's not like they're
They
going to
were
have a
probably all at the
super
Bills
lax. Yeah, right.
you know.
It's not like they have a super lax and small police department. This is Buffalo.
That's
It's
true.
a pretty big
That's
area. So it was just really shocking when I
Yeah,
read
that
it.
is very shocking.
It's not like I was like mad or just happy or upset or anything about it. I was just like, what? Why are people leaving evidence bags just outside for a high-profile case?
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, hopefully,
what's going
though,
on
that,
with that?
hopefully justice will be served in all this, and we can, move on accordingly from it. Now, Grant, before we go to another break, I wanted to bring back a few of the best of the Bax and Grant Sports Show. So I've got a few different clips here for us. As some of you know, our first episode, like we said, was 100 episodes ago. And we just have a few short little small clips here that I want to share with you. So this first one is from the first ever broadcast that we
goodness.
did. So
goodness.
take a listen and enjoy. If it loads. There we go. This is the Baxter and Grant Sports Show. I am your host, Baxter Colburn, alongside the illustrious, the talented, the ever-charming Grant Copper. Yeah, that was quite an interesting sound quality we had back in the day.
yes, very, very poor internal mic on your laptop.
Yeah, and because of the audio issues at Grant, we didn't stay with that platform for too long, thankfully, and we were able to upgrade. So I wanted to play the evolution of the audio quality on the Bax and Grant Sports Show here in 3 separate clips. So take a listen. This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show. This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show. Welcome inside the studio. This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax,
And this is Grant.
Such a better time.
Yes,
so much
good
better.
times,
Oh
good
my
times.
goodness, it's amazing what a little fine
technology
tuning will
can
do.
do,
A
yeah.
little technology.
You sound so good over there, Baxter.
Oh, you're just
sound
a
good,
shameless
Grant. You
flatterer.
sound good.
Shameless flatterer. I love it. So now that we've got the audio quality issues out of the way, we've had the opportunity over the last almost year now to address a few different things. One of which was just recently. We talked about the Pope on the show, Grant.
Jeez.
Push notifications for what the Pope is doing. Like, instead of Where's Waldo, it's Where's the Pope?
Pope just ate a sandwich.
Oh, brilliant. Tweet it out. Yeah, no, I don't think that's how it works with the Pope. But either way, if you do have a prayer request, sure, you can send it to us. You can tweet at us. I'm at Baxter Colburn. He's at Grant's Rant BGS. Love it. Love
That
the
prayer
Pope
request.
tracker. I know. I was like, when I said it, like, we could do that. I was like, okay. I mean,
If you have a prayer request, why not? Send it
oh
our
yeah,
way.
no,
We'll
we're not
pray
gonna,
for you.
Absolutely,
We will
can
pray for
always,
you.
We'll always pray for you here on the Bax and Grant Sports Show if that's what it really comes down
And
to.
apparently the Pope will too.
yeah.
Or you'll get a notification that he's praying for you. That should be a thing. Like,
a Pope
donate
push
to the
notification?
give an offering to the church. Have the Pope pray for you, and then you get it's like a live streaming thing where you
Like,
get
I'd
to
like
watch.
to pray for Baxter and Grant on their 100th episode today. Amen.
You get to. It's like a live stream, and you get to watch him pray in his own private I don't know, sanctuary prayer area. I
There
don't
you
know.
go. His designated praying
designated
area.
praying area.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, we've also had some interesting moments between the two of us, Grant. And you know that I would never speak ill of you, but apparently one day I may have gone a little too far.
everybody to see it.
Well, that's what the sports world is nowadays, Grant. If I don't like you, I'm not going to tell you to your face. I'm going to go on Twitter and trash you and throw a bad meme at you and just call you a doo-doo head. You know, that's what I think of you, Grant.
Yeah, but thank you.
No,
Thank
I
you.
mean, I don't mean that. Of course, no. I never would say anything slanderous about.
So kind.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
kind.
I would never, but for anybody that knows the show, you know that Grant is very upfront with how he feels.
I'm sometimes rather blunt.
And I didn't have enough storage space on my computer to log all of Grant's honest moments, but there was one that jumped out at me that occurred about a few months ago. This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
This is Grant.
Grant, welcome to a Wednesday edition of the show. It's Hump Day, Grant. How you feeling today?
Hump Day. I'm feeling awful.
Wow. Just starting off with a bang. Just hey, didn't hold anything back on that one.
I remember that.
Yes, it was fun. I just was so excited. I was pumped up, and then Grant just is like, I'm feeling awful. I was like, well, there goes any motivation and energy I had for the rest of the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that.
There's also a lot of just blunt moments where we're talking with people from the show too.
Yeah.
That's not on the show, but we're talking about the show or stuff for the show.
Yes.
And I'm just super blunt / savage that I wish we could
Someone's
record
gotta
too.
be savage. Oh, they're all recorded somewhere, but it's just they're lost they're all in the Bax and Grant Sports Show archives. Now, just a few more quick ones as we continue to review some of the best moments that have happened throughout our 100 show history. For those of you, excuse me, goodness, went through puberty for a second there. My voice cracked. For those of you that know, we had an intern.
Great. Okay, I was hoping you would put some of these in there.
We did. I didn't put all the ones. I didn't put the ones that you're
There's
thinking
a
of.
bunch of them.
If you ever get a chance, go back and listen to the episodes of Intern Laura's Thingamabopper. But I wanted to keep it nice to remember her in a good way. She was able to join the show for this fall edition of the show, but she was all with us during the spring. And I wanted to go back and listen to the first time Intern Laura came on the Bax and Grant Sports Show. Casting or something of that general nature. But Laura, we wanted to bring you on just to say hi fast and welcome you officially to the Bax and Grant Sports Show and introduce you to the many wonderful people that are out there. So Laura, say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you for having me today, Bax and Grant. I'm just really excited to be here to learn more about this broadcast.
Let's just say from there on out, that was the last time she was nice on the air because she got
Right?
she got feisty. She got comfortable
did.
with the show real quick.
And then she's like, well, done with you guys. I'm just going to do my own
Now
thing.
she's big and famous, and no, it's not necessarily that. She's planning to come back on the show, hopefully, just to visit occasionally in the near future, but we get it.
Time constraints,
College is a busy thing. So 2 more for you. We did a Super Bowl episode right before the Super Bowl took place on that Friday before, and we haven't had him on the show since, and I feel terribly guilty for this. But we had a friend of ours on named Josh Scheibe. Not called. Yes, they call him Josh
Scheibe.
Exactly, and he made it a point to kind of reference. This is when all of the Deflategate issues came out.
Oh,
and Josh was a little upset about it. So you're gonna want to check these out. 1 second.
Okay, can we just say, why do we have to put gate on the end of everything these days? Any sort of scandal, it's got to be deflate gate. Why can't it just be, this guy's deflated football? Deflate scandal.
Exactly.
Patriots cheated again.
Yeah,
something like that.
Simple as that. We don't need to go back to, what was it, Nixon that had Watergate?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Casting. Shoot, sorry. Technology's failing me here. 1 second. But that was one of the instances. But then Josh also made it a point to also reference just different forms of gate because it seems to be a catching theme.
Yeah, apparently.
It all started with him, and then it just has gone downhill from there. But
the Revolutionary War probably would have been called Revolution Gate. Watergate
British
happened
Gate,
before that.
something, yeah.
British Gate.
T-Gate.
Yes, Cain and Abel Gate back within the something. I don't know. But anyway, we had too much fun with Gate. Never a dull moment on the Bax and Grant Sports Show. There's multiple hours of highlights and film. Yes, there's lots of film on the Bax and Grant Sports Show. Now, there's lots of different highlights and stuff.
There is a bunch of just classic ones.
There absolutely is. But for all of you out there, we don't want to bore you consistently with us going back and forth with the thoughts. But those are just a few a few different highlights that have happened throughout the year. So we appreciate all of your continued support. We are going to go to a break. When we come back, Sam Wallace will be here on the show to offer a little bit of his running 101 tips, but also take a look at the games coming up in the Bax and Grant Sports Show Fantasy Football League. Don't go anywhere. This is the Bax and Grant Sports Show. Welcome back to the Bax and Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Sam.
Sam, whoa, hey, you were here yesterday, weren't you?
And I think the day before that. No, Tuesday?
2 days. Yeah, I think you were here Tuesday again.
3 days in a week?
I don't even know. That's too much.
It's too much.
I don't know if the fans can handle what it's like to have Sam on the show. I mean, Sam is stepping in here because it is Friday, which means we get to hear about his Running 101 segment with Sam Wallace. So it's always a fun time to hear what insight Sam has for us. So
yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
You've got a sweet little theme now, too.
Ooh,
this is the Sam Wallace theme.
I like this.
It's pretty badass. Like, we're going to go on a run now.
You got to send me this clip.
I might have to.
It's going to be my intro song every time I walk into a course for a race.
Just be like, hello. And just like, oh, Sam Wallace is here. Uh-oh.
Everyone calm down.
Everyone just, like, runs in fear. Like, not Sam.
If only. Not yet.
Not yet.
Someday.
You got it, man. You got this. Well,
Someday.
Sam, you've got, what do you got for us this week for your tip?
Yeah, this week I was going to talk about, well, it's kind of a brief segment, but it's incredibly important. It's the importance of taking that extra needed rest day when your body needs it. I know a lot of times this segment that I've been doing was geared more towards those who have been new to running and getting into it for the first time, but for those people that have been doing it for a while, I guess I can maybe start shifting a little bit of my topics toward them as well. And I struggle with it as well quite a bit sometimes, is taking that extra day off, especially when I get into the middle of the season when I'm running 6-7 days in a row, or I might be running 13 out of 14 days over the course of 2 weeks. My off day might only be once every 2 or once every 3 weeks, and just realizing how important that is. I know sometimes the old thought process and the old mantra from a lot of running coaches and days gone by of yesteryear was, don't take a day off. That's weak.
I was going to say, that was usually the belief system, like, no one takes a day off.
No, and it was, you're going to train through the hurt, the pain, your body will find a way to recover. And, there's a lot of truth to that. Your body can do some incredibly amazing things and adapt when it needs to. But in the long run, no pun intended, it's good to, it's more beneficial to take that extra day when you need it. You're not going to lose any training. I mean, it really takes probably a consistent 7 to 10 days of not doing anything for the training that you've built up in your body to slowly start to kind of bleed its way out of your system. So you can take a day off, even 2. I mean, you don't want to make a habit of that. Obviously, you want to continue to stay consistent with your training and things like that. But as far as taking that extra day, it will do more for you than not.
And that's what I've noticed. Yeah, I mean, I went for a run with my wife last night. We went for a 4-mile run last night. She's like, let's go on a run. I was like, okay. Sure, yeah. I was like, I just came from a 2-hour soccer practice, but sure. Sounds like fun.
Yes,
so,
I would love to go run with you.
Put on 10 miles yesterday, like total between soccer and running. I mean, for you, I'm sure that's a warm-up. But
well done.
For someone like me that doesn't run a lot, but you're right there. Like, we took a few days off from my workouts this week and then went on a run last night, and it took me maybe a half mile to get into it, but then after that I'm like, okay, I'm good. I back into it, back in the saddle, and I definitely can see what you're saying though about it's okay if a day or 2 or 3 sometimes happens, but don't let it go for a week or 2.
You need to stay on top of your game, but again, especially for runners that are starting out and kind of those beginning to more moderate experienced runners, take that day, and especially for the upper elite runners, I mean, they can tell you more. So a day off is not a bad thing. So.
No, I completely agree with you on that one. So, transitioning from your running tip, so thank you for offering that, Sam. We're going to take a brief look at the Bax and Grand Sports Show Fantasy Football League. We have a 12-team league right now. We have 3 undefeated teams still left in the league. My team, Chris Blakely's team, and Zach Poppenfuss's team are all undefeated.
Yeah.
All playing relatively formidable opponents this week. I am currently losing by 2 points.
Actually, I think your game is the one I'm expecting. I still think you'll be 3-0 coming out of this week, simply because of just looking at the Wolf Pack here with Joel Wolfrath.
Yes, our golf expert.
Our resident golf expert.
What a guy.
His running back 2 spot last night, Shane Vereen, did not play well at all. And, it's tough to come out of a Thursday night game with one of your top 3 guys or top 4 guys just laying an egg like that.
Mm-hmm.
But just looking at your team, obviously, we'll see how Alex Smith plays up against the Packers defense. I think he'll have some chances. I know we've said if there's going to be a time when Alex Smith throws a touchdown to a wide receiver, it's going to be on Monday night.
Well, I'm flirting between Alex Smith and Tyrod Taylor right now. I still have yet to make an official decision on this.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrod's got Miami this week. Alex has Green Bay, but like you said, Green Bay is just notorious for giving up firsts when it comes to that.
I mean, I'm obviously a Packers fan, but I would still say go with Alex Smith simply because he's been in the league a lot longer. He can handle the big stage, things like that.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Jumping to other games in our league, going down to a game that doesn't have any undefeated teams in it. Team Landvater and straight out of ACLs. Still love that name. I know Matt Evans' team was His team was spared a little bit last night when Odell Beckham caught that touchdown towards the tail end of the game last night.
Beckham got 13 points out of Matt's 17 total.
Yeah, but I mean he played 3 guys last night, and again his tight
3.
Yeah, his tight end. 3 points. As far as tight ends go, not a terrible performance. I mean, tight ends are kind of hit and miss; they're never super consistent.
Especially with the Giants.
Yeah, but then again, his flex with Alfred Morris coming in with 1. I mean,
come on.
Overall, the ground game last night in Washington just wasn't having it.
It was not, productive at all.
Yeah, but one tight end that did have a great game last night actually was Jordan Reed. For as much as the Redskins struggled, you guys were talking about how Kirk Cousins threw for 300 yards, something like that.
Yeah, it was very impressive.
Jordan Reed accounted for 96 of those yards.
Oh man,
for a tight end, and for the Pallet Town Monsters and Danny Hoffenstein. To grab 9 points out of your tight end, and that's the only game you had, or the only player you had last night, that sets him up very well, and he's playing David Kenyon. So, I mean, I hate
David Kenyon's, now it's a little bit of a rebuilding year. But
I know, I hate to say it, but David could be looking at an 0-3 start. But
he's got Le'Veon Bell back
this week. He is still
his starting lineup actually is pretty terrifying this week. Tom Brady's starting this week.
Yep.
He's got Le'Veon Bell starting this week also. That Falcons defense might be pretty good. I don't know how well T.J. Yeldon's going to do against the Patriots defense, but the Patriots defense hasn't been playing too well. So
no, that's the thing.
He's got an opportunity to claim a win this week, but your game, Sam, you are going up against Connor Christensen, who we'll have on the show here in our next segment.
Yeah.
You've got a 19-5 lead right now, thanks to Eli Manning.
I mean, last night I stayed up and I watched the whole game last night.
Wow, dedication.
I couldn't decide if it was going to be a good move or not, especially after the first half. I'm like, come on. I was actually a little bit worried that the Giants couldn't finish drives, kept having to kick field goals. I mean, they scored in 3 different ways last night. They scored on a safety early in the game, on a blocked punt.
Wow.
A couple field goals, got a touchdown, things like that. But he got that nice touchdown pass to Eli kind of late in the game, and then all of a sudden midway through the fourth quarter, just out of the blue, Ruben Randall comes up with a very tipped, bobbled, kind of fell into his lap, and he walked into the end zone. At first I thought it was picked, and I was going to be real upset. But
are you kidding?
Yeah, I mean, Manning has yet to throw a pick this year for me. I mean, yeah, he didn't throw any touchdowns in the first game, but he's got back-to-back weeks with 250 yards and 2 scores, and, for the round that I drafted him pretty late.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of focused on a lot of areas of my team first. That's about what I expected out of him. Was kind of
that's not a bad
15 to 20 points. Just someone who's not going to lose me the game, but will consistently, produce.
Yeah, and I have the Giants as my defense in my DraftKings this week on one of my DraftKings, and they got 11 points last night based off of because they scored a touchdown. They intercepted 2 different passes. They had that block. They had only 1 sack, but it was the Redskins defense, I'm sorry, that had a touchdown last night. But they still got 2 interceptions out of it. They played exceptionally well, and 11 points out of your defense I think is fairly respectable.
I mean, I know in our league they spot us with 10 points, and if I can come away with anything positive, I consider that to be a win.
I think that's a win for all all on that one. Let's see. What's the other game? Corey Plath takes on Chris Blakely this week. The 2-0 versus the 0-2. Corey is only technically favored to lose that game by 3 points. But this is such an interesting game.
He's got a couple interesting matchups on his lineup with C.J. Anderson. We'll see if he has yet to produce anything.
He's going with Drew Brees again this week, although we have yet to really hear.
Yeah, and DeAndre Hopkins as well he just went through a concussion protocol yesterday, so we'll see how that works.
You should start Teddy Bridgewater. Why not?
I mean, Sammy Watkins, again, we'll see. I do like his James Jones lineup, though. I mean,
it's about time he starts him.
I was talking to somebody else about it last night. It's like, Randall Cobb chews up a lot of the yardage on the drives, but all James Jones seems to do is catch touchdown passes. So
it's three touchdowns in 2 games. That's
you can't argue with those numbers.
Pretty good statistic right there. And the only pass he caught last week was a touchdown.
Exactly. So
what are you going to do? If you're a fantasy owner, I mean, you got to be thrilled to have James Jones on your team.
Because we all know James Jones was the best pickup the Packers made in the offseason.
It really was, aside from re-signing Cobb.
Yeah.
But that's just how it goes sometimes. Well, Sam, I appreciate you taking the time today. And
absolutely.
Any other final thoughts for us before we send you on your way?
No, we'll see you guys next week.
Sounds good, man. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck in fantasy.
Thanks. You as well.
Thank you much. Sam Wallace, our resident running 101 expert, and also insider on the Bax and Grand Sports Show Fantasy Football League as well. We'll be right back. When we come back, Connor Christensen will be on the line talking about the Minnesota Vikings. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Bax and Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Grant.
Welcome inside the studio as we continue to roll on with our 100th episode. 100 exclamation point.
There should be some ceremonial music.
Like the Olympics, like bum, 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 bum.
Oh, no. What's better is the Vince Lombardi trophy, when they bring it out,
that's actually true. Super Bowl trophy presentation.
Not gonna lie, when that music played in 2010, cried a little bit.
You cried?
Teared up.
I cried at the defense's performance. That's what I cried at. Just atrocious.
Do we want to mention that a little fun excursion that we took on Wednesday down memory lane?
Yeah, well, we mentioned it. I mentioned it with Sam Wallace on the air yesterday. It was because
that's right. You did say that.
Oh boy.
See, this is what happens when you
How
get
did
sick.
we win the Super Bowl?
You miss stuff when you get sick. But honestly, who was that we were talking about yesterday?
I don't even remember his name.
The
wide receiver. No, Charlie Pepper, and Frank Zambo and some of those other guys. They're probably all on the Vikings team by now.
Or they've probably been cut.
That awkward moment when Charlie Pepper has a Super Bowl ring and Dan Marino does not.
Awkward. Or that one super random receiver that dropped a critical first down or something like that.
I really wish I could remember his first name. But anyway, it is, like we said, our 100th episode of the Bax and Grant Sports Show. And we wanted to bring in one of our good friends of the show. He was on the show yesterday, but sometimes you just can't get enough of him. That would be Connor Christensen. Good morning, Connor. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well, and may I say congratulations, guys, on 100 episodes.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Now, you, Connor, there's no fight corner, there's no fitness tip, there's none of that jazz today, although we do always appreciate it when you do it.
And all that jazz. Hello, world. Every time you say all that jazz, I gotta. You know,
gotta?
I gotta.
Why you gotta?
Because I just gotta. Got that musical theater bug.
I suppose.
You just gotta, our life should be a musical where we just burst out in song just because of our daily situation.
Because that's real life.
I really need to go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom.
I don't know if the majority of people could handle that, Grant.
My life in a musical, that's what it would be.
I think I would go insane after like 2 days.
Yeah, it's like, and
not about my own life, but about like your life.
It's like
I need to go. I need to go to sleep, and my child will not shut up.
I just feel like I'm having a very bad day. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, then you just start jumping into a song.
Life sucks. And then you gotta have a ballad in there somewhere.
You gotta have, it's like the single spotlight on you in the middle of the stage, like looking up.
Oh man, that would be my whole life. Be one big ballad.
Oh god,
solid B.
That is very true. If your life was a musical, Connor, it'd be 90% ballads, and then 10% fight scenes.
Then it'd just be fight scenes, ballads and fight scenes.
Explosions in the background. You jump sliding over the hood of cars and stuff.
Shooting people.
Bullets are flying over.
Yeah, no scope cross
360 no scope.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Headshot. Boom. Exactly.
Triple collat, gotta get those. All those. You don't know that one?
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's collaterals. It's if you shoot somebody through another person, and then so if it's a triple, you
shoot three people.
Yeah, shoot 3 people with 1 bullet because it goes through.
Oh.
Video game terminology.
Sure.
That's why Draft Fury needs to get that esports thing.
They do.
There's been big esports news, like a big big California company is going to start sponsoring esports. They're going to Counter-Strike Go.
Counter-Strike Go.
Or Counter-Strike Global Offensive CS:GO is the.
I don't even know what this means.
Connor,
do you know what the heck he's talking about?
Well, Counter-Strike is a very, very famous game that came out in the 90s. I used to play it a lot when I was
Sure, I know of the name.
Global Offensive is the new one. I didn't know I don't know what he's talking about with the Go or something.
It's just shorthanded to count.
I don't know what that is.
Esports is video game professional video game competitions. And
Counter-Strike has been a big member of that for years.
Yeah. Actually, recently, Grant, DraftKings is now expanded into the
Did
esports.
they do that? It's official. Oh,
DraftKings, not Draft Fury, but DraftKings.
Oh, DraftKings.
I know. They've got some of the games they have. They've got, what is this, Power Strike, Critical Strike. I don't even know.
But they don't have the
First
games
Blood,
on there.
Killing. What do these mean? I don't even know what these mean.
This is weird.
A lot of people are playing. There's teams. I don't even know how this.
But I don't understand.
I don't know.
Who are the teams? Because I know some of the players, or do they go by the teams? This is just all.
You're literally drafting teams. Are you people's on these teams?
Oh,
you have to be an avid follower.
Oh, this is CS:GO. This is CS:GO. I can just tell by. Got Cloud9 is C9 right there.
Sure.
And then you got looking for I can't tell.
Okay.
H2K. That's another famous one. And
There's famous e-gamers.
If Optic, if you go over to Call of Duty,
sure.
Optic is a big name over there. You have Team FaZe. Envy
us. Shoot people.
That's another.
That's all it really
team.
is for me. I mean, I don't live with Connor anymore like we did during college, but that's all we would do sometimes. And even with
that, you play Madden a lot of the time.
Yeah,
too.
Madden, but sometimes Grant.
Well, yeah.
Because
Madden's amazing.
You come home from class sometimes, Grant, and you just want to kill people. So I would walk in and be like, Connor, we're killing people. He's like, okay. So we would put on loud music and just go and play Call of Duty and just start shooting people and grenade. I usually ended up dying a lot because I always would go rogue, and Connor would be like, I got you. And then I'd be like, just shooting everywhere, and just never ended up working.
He did that, yes.
I made that exact sound effect too. I was like, just running around in the
several times, yes.
Yeah.
Make that Tarzan scoot.
Basically. My favorite is when you get, those headshots from across the map, and you were like, are you serious? I was hunkered down in a corner
with a shield
in
against my face.
in a windowless room. How in the world did I just die?
And then you look at the kill cam, and it's like some glitch where a dude shoots up in the sky. And
Yep, and it somehow falls through the ceiling and shoots me in the head. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go quit life because I'm not good at it. But anyway, Connor, enough from all the esports. We wanted to briefly, sorry for that major digression, but you should know by now. That's what happens on the show. We did want to briefly talk to you.
I mean, like, come on, that's good stuff here. I got excited.
I know.
Esports.
You're going to have to go play DraftKings.
I always want to talk about
now.
esports, but I don't feel like anybody wants to listen to it.
If you want to talk about FIFA or Madden, sure. Or if you want to, what is it, Tiger Woods, whatever the games are. I mean, Joe Wolfrath or David Kenyon will talk to you about those golf games.
Tiger Woods, my Women Ruin My Life edition.
Yeah, that's
and my career is over. Those are the new 2 games coming out.
To be fair, women didn't ruin his life. He ruined his own life.
Truth.
Can't keep it in his
throw
pants.
that out there.
Yeah,
keep it in his pants.
That's actually very, very true.
That's on him. That's not their fault. That's on him.
Yes. It was kind of like coming from his perspective, but no, it's definitely not their fault.
Yeah. No, it's true. You know how to.
No, it was the concept of women.
Instead of the next ABC show, How to Get Away with Murder, should be How to Get Away with an Affair, starring Tiger Woods.
No, I don't feel like you should.
And then you'll get clubbed the first episode, and it'll be over. Be like, all right, well,
clubbed.
Terrible. How do I still have a job?
Or a bag of clubs through a car window, perhaps.
That would be, that's more realistic. You'd think he would.
It's not like that happened before or anything.
It's based on true events.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Connor, this coming week, your Vikings will take on the San Diego Chargers. Am I correct about that?
Yes, they will.
How do you feel that Adrian Peterson hasn't scored a touchdown yet this year?
I'm not worried about it. When it comes to Adrian Peterson, I was in a Vikings mood the other day, so I was looking up Adrian Peterson because he's the Vikings. And I was watching some documentaries about him. I watched his highlights from the boss year, the plus 2,000 rushing yards year, and watching him just destroy people. They had like a full 5 minutes of him just shrugging people, and it makes you realize just how strong, how powerful, how quick, how agile he is. They had Ike Taylor talk about him, and he's like, yeah, it's like a freight train coming at you, but it's got NASCAR speed.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if you think of running backs, it's either one or the other.
Yeah, you're either big or you're fast.
Adrian Peterson is the least of my worries.
So what are you worried about?
I am still and will be worried about Teddy. That is what I'm worried about.
What about Mike Wallace?
Yeah, he's not been doing so well.
What about Mike Wallace? You gotta get him the ball. You gotta throw it right. You gotta see him. You have to target him. You have to complete the pass. And I mean, Wallace does have to catch the ball, but Wallace, I'm not really. It all hinges on Teddy.
Okay.
It does. It really does.
No, that
the
makes
offense
sense.
hinges on Teddy.
Yeah,
because when he's having a good game, when he's doing well, when he's fired up, the rest of the team kind of follows suit with that.
Usually.
The same is true for Adrian Peterson. The team kind of follows suit with that. But now having a person like Teddy on the team affects, the whole offense as a unit.
Yes.
So Teddy needs to continue to play well. I don't care if he doesn't go just go off. I don't care about that. What I want him to do is I want him to complete his passes. I don't care if he gets 300 yards. I don't care if he gets 400 yards. I don't care if he gets 200 yards. I just want him to get a consistent. I just want him to complete passes.
Right.
That's all I want.
Hey, and
if he scores touchdowns, that's great. But I want him to complete passes. And that should be his main focus.
And I do agree with you, Connor. Yeah, thank you. Sorry about that. I was just like, the delay is like off by like a second, so you would stop. I'm like, oh, he's done, and then I'd talk, and then you would. Okay. Anyway, so I do agree with you that I'm really not concerned about Adrian Peterson because week 1 he only got like 30 some yards, something like that.
Yeah.
That's because he only got
41
or 41 yards. That's because he only got 10 carries. So they didn't.
That should be like 1,000 yards.
Yeah. So they didn't. So the Vikings did not do a good job of play calling and giving him the ball more. So not concerned with week 1.
Well,
week 2.
Week 1 was a whole big debacle and gaggle and whatever.
Debacle.
Wasn't great.
Ego my ego. Then week 2 he comes out and drops 100+ yards. with
134
yards with, of course he would know
with no
that.
touchdowns.
Yeah, no touchdowns don't matter.
Touchdowns.
Sure they do.
And of course you know that because he's on your fantasy team.
Touchdowns,
irrelevant.
Touchdowns don't matter. You want to know why touchdowns don't matter? Because
that's how you win the game, Grant.
Yeah, but for personal player stats, they don't matter because they can be very subjective. Like, you're like, exactly like we were talking about. James Jones had one catch last week.
For a touchdown.
Which
made that catch crucial.
His overall impact on the game, it wasn't as much as you could maybe argue Randall Cobb with getting over 100 yards.
You think James Jones had a fairly good game, and that one catch proved to be, that crucial starting
Yes,
point
I'm not
for the
saying that it's completely like you can't go with it at all, but I'm not concerned that one player doesn't get a touchdown. Randall Cobb didn't get a touchdown last week. Are you saying that he's a bad player even though he got over 100 yards receiving?
No,
I don't care if Adrian Peterson didn't get a touchdown. The Vikings got touchdowns in other ways.
Well, if you're the Vikings, though, you want your main man producing for you.
Yeah, he produced 134 yards or however.
But you'd also want to be able to look to him for point scoring.
You don't. You could look other places. You don't necessarily.
The Vikings don't have a lot of places to look, though.
But they got it done.
Yeah, barely.
They knew that they didn't need to always go with Adrian Peterson in the scoring position. What they used Adrian Peterson for was to get down the field, to get into the red zone, to get into those big situations.
I suppose. But they were playing the Lions, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, that's true. But he still put up 134 yards.
It's true.
Which, tell me how many running backs can do that in 1 week. It doesn't happen all the time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he does that week after week after week because we've seen that Adrian Peterson can do that.
All right, fair enough.
Yes, we have.
So, boom.
And Baxter, going to you because I know you have personal stock in this because he's on your fantasy team and you want him to get more touchdowns so you can get more points and win. And to that, I say, don't worry about it. It's we're going into week 3. Adrian Peterson, he had all of last season not playing, so just give him a couple of weeks to figure out his groove.
Oh, sure.
And you'll start seeing some touchdowns from him. I have no doubt that if he doesn't score a touchdown against the Chargers, I will be surprised. I'll put it that way.
Well, San Diego.
He'll start getting more touchdowns.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about it from a fantasy perspective. I'm worried about it more so from an overall perspective of the NFL because the main man of a franchise is not producing. That doesn't look good from him. That doesn't look good for the franchise.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be too concerned.
That's the thing. He brings something to the team that is not. He is the main man, and just having him on the team itself makes them play at a higher level.
It does, yeah.
And like Grant is saying, putting up 134 yards, we have not had a running back besides Adrian Peterson do that in a long time. And without Adrian Peterson, the duo of Matt Asiata and Jerick McKinnon would put up nowhere near that amount of rushing yards.
By themselves.
So the fact that we even had a run game to the fans, because the fans love to watch Adrian Peterson just, bull rush down the field.
Mm-hmm.
And AP is tough. He fights for yards. And watching him do that just fires everybody up. Even if he doesn't get a touchdown, the fans are getting fired up, the team is getting fired up because we finally have that guy that can bull rush down the field and get a lot of yards.
Well, hopefully that ends up being the case. Connor, I appreciate your time today, bud. Always a pleasure. Any final thoughts for us before we let you go?
I think that the Vikings are going to beat the Chargers. I do. I really do.
Okay.
I hope. No, seriously, I do. I think they will.
Oh, no, yeah, of course.
And,
I do, too.
Yeah. I look forward to seeing the game. I just want to thank you guys for having me on the show. I wasn't the first guest, but I've probably been the guest that's been on the show the longest.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a great learning experience. You guys are great at what you do. Keep it up. I'm honored to be with you as you guys do it.
Well, we appreciate that, Connor. Thank you, man. You're a terrific asset to the show, and we look forward to hearing more of your fitness tip, Viking banter, and little fight corner as well. So enjoy the rest of your day, man. Good luck to the Vikings this weekend and your fantasy team, and we'll be chatting with you again next week, bud.
All right. Talk to you then.
Sounds good. Connor Christensen, a great friend of the show.
Change his fight corner name to the Ronda Rousey corner.
Ronda Rousey?
Yeah, Ronda Rousey.
It's like, who the heck's Ronda Rousey? Is that like the knockoff of Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey corner. That's
Maybe.
what it really should be named.
We'll see. We might. Maybe.
Honestly. Because that's what we want to talk about.
That's fine.
Like, every time he comes on,
I'd talk about Ronda for 10 minutes.
Every time he comes on, it's like, talk about Ronda. Are you not talking about Ronda? You need to talk about Ronda.
Oh, we're losing you. We lost
Okay,
him.
now talk about Ronda.
Oh,
She's
Ronda.
great.
Hello,
what
hello,
a gal.
Oh, gosh. All right, we're going to go to one more break. We'll be right back. This is the Baxter Grant Sports Show. Welcome back to the Bax and Grant Sports Show, presented by Sports Radio America. I'm Bax.
And this is Grant.
Welcome back inside the studio as we continue to finish up our 100th episode of the Bax and Grant Sports Show. Special thanks to all the people that have come on the show today. Sam Wallace, Corey Plath, Simon Mitchell, and we just heard from Connor Christensen. And it has been quite an exciting and long road here, and we are thrilled with the continued support that we see from you, the listeners and the fans. If you do want to continue to listen to the show after today and decide, not to just pack up shop and, migrate to another podcast or show, we'd appreciate your continued listenership. You can get us Monday through Friday live from 7 to 8 a.m. Central on Spreaker.com and on Periscope as well. You can also get us from 11 to 1 p.m. Central on SportsRadioAmerica.com, Live 365, and tune in. And then social media, Grant, where are we at?
You can find us on Facebook at the Bax and Grant Sports Show. We are on Twitter and Instagram at BG Sports Show. Baxter's personal Twitter is at Baxter Colburn, and mine is at Grant's Rant BGSS.
Oh, yeah. All right, Grant. Well, before we go, I feel like we need to challenge each other in another quiz-up battle.
The Battle of Wits.
The Battle of Wits.
The Sports Wits.
The Sports Wits. We played Packers trivia last time.
Packers.
And then U.S., I believe it was sports teams.
Yes, it was sports teams, all around general sports.
It was.
Knowledge.
So we'll do Packers trivia again first, since that's something we fairly.
Right. Would you like to go first?
I would love to go first this time.
All right.
7 questions, winner takes all, and 2 rounds of play.
Who did the Packers select in the second round of the 2010 NFL Draft? Nick Perry, Mike Neal, Jared Boykin, or James Starks?
Mike Neal. Oh, let's go.
That is correct.
Whoop, 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 whoop,
Look at you. I did not
strong.
know that one. How many years did Aaron Rodgers serve as a backup to Brett Favre? 2, 4, 5, or 3?
3.
That is correct.
1.
A 2. A 3. A 3.
Ah.
In 2012, Packers defensive end Mike Daniels recovered a fumble and ran it in for a touchdown. What quarterback fumbled the ball? Matthew Stafford, Carson Palmer, Russell Wilson, or Eli Manning?
Let's go with Eli.
Matthew Stafford. That's what I was going to say.
I thought about it, but I didn't know.
I'm sorry. What Packer holds the NFL record for most consecutive seasons leading the league in scoring? Antonio Freeman, Jim Taylor, Don Hudson, or Donald Driver?
Don Hudson. Oh, yum.
That is correct.
That's Red Robin. Same thing, no. I got 3 points so far. Feeling good. Feeling confident.
What current Packer holds the Michigan high school record with 36 sacks in his high school year? Mike Neal, Nick Perry, Mike Daniels, or Marshall Newhouse?
Oh, boy. Let's go with Mike Neal.
Bonus question. That is incorrect. It's Nick Perry.
I thought it might have been Nick Perry, but I didn't want to bet
I'll
the
give
house.
a bonus question after these questions.
Okay.
Where did the Packers' Mike Neal go to college?
What's up with all the Mike Neal questions?
Nebraska, Purdue, Ohio State, or Iowa?
Oh, boy. Ohio State? No.
That is incorrect. You know who would know that?
Who would
it was
know that?
Purdue, but guess who would know that? The
David
Encyclopedia
Kenny.
of
Yeah, David
Knowledge.
Kenny would have known that.
What round of the 1999 draft did the Packers select Donald Driver? 8, 9, 7th, or 3rd?
7th.
I think that's right.
I thought
it
was
is
8,
correct.
6, 7, 5, 309.
7th is correct. Bonus question. What other... he doesn't play for the team anymore, but he was on the Super Bowl winning team. What other player went to Michigan University? I'll give you a hint. He was on the defense.
Such a broad question. Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. There it
I
is.
won't take that point. I mean,
No, it was just a fun little knowledge bonus question.
yeah. All right, Grant. Well, it is your turn. I got 4 correct in the Packers quiz up challenge.
Fun. What number did he wear?
You wore 21. Same number as Haha.
Not in
in college.
in college.
College.
The number one.
Number one.
Number one.
Number one. Here we go. All right, Grant. Your rounds of questions. Here we go for Packers trivia on Quiz Up. What college did Randall Cobb attend? Iowa,
Kentucky.
Kansas, Kentucky, Mizzou. Correct.
Because I just laugh every time Kentucky has a football program.
Right. Where did B.J. Raji go to college?
Oh,
Georgia
my.
Tech, Boston College, Indiana, or Michigan?
Let's go with Indiana.
That would be incorrect. Boston.
I was going to go with Boston.
Boston College.
I was going to go with that, but I was
Question
like,
3.
nah.
What Packer defensive player had a rushing touchdown in the 2011 season? Matthews, Woodson, Hawk, or Raji?
B.J. Raji.
Yep. Stack the box. Give it to the
That
big
was-
man up
that
the
was
middle.
hilarious. Oh, yep.
Who is the Packers' all-time leading rusher in touchdowns in a season with 19? Iman Green, Paul Horning, James Starks, Jim Taylor.
Amon Green?
Incorrect. Jim Taylor. The man, Jim Taylor. What year in the 2012 draft did the Packers select Jared Boykin? Undrafted, 8th, 9th, 7th. That would be correct. Correct. Round 6, here we go. Going to the 2013 season, what Packer is the youngest Super Bowl starter in the NFL history? Max McGee, Mike Neal, Brian Bulaga, James Starks.
Brian Bulaga.
Correct. Oh, we are all knotted up at 4 apiece. Grant with a chance to take the lead here on the final question of round 1. Who currently holds the Packers record for most career receiving yards? Hudson, Driver, Freeman, Sharp. 2 seconds.
Driver.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, I had to think about that one for a second.
Ooh, Donald Driver.
Because Driver, he has the most yards, but I don't think he has the most touchdowns.
I think that's what it is.
So
yes.
I was like, think. And I got to remember which one was which.
I don't know. All right, now we will be playing U.S. sports teams.
This one was fairly easy, I remember last time that we...
Or do we want to play general sports knowledge?
Let's do general sports
general
knowledge.
That's fine. That's fine.
Sports teams was easy. It was like, showed a picture of the Chiefs. It was like, who owned the Chiefs?
It's like, So
that's a slap shot reference.
What's that?
A comedic hockey movie.
Oh.
It's hilarious. It's about, like, it's making fun of hockey and, like, making a team of just pretty much goons where they go in there and it's just basically boxing for 60 minutes of... Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, all right, here we go. General sports. Grant, you can go first this time.
All
I'll
right.
ask you. Here we go. What nationality is famous tennis player Roger Federer? Spanish, Swiss, French, American?
Swiss.
Oh, correct. Well done. Question 2. In American football, how many points are scored for a touchdown? 4, 5, 6, 27, 6.
That was so
Good
hard,
Lord.
dude. That was so hard.
Question 3. Where were the 92 Summer Olympic Games held? Turin, Sydney, Atlanta, Barcelona.
Atlanta?
No. Barcelona.
I was like, didn't think it was Atlanta, but
Question
whatever.
4. What event first held in Bangkok in 2005 was included billiards, snooker, bodybuilding, chess, and table tennis? Pan Am Indoor Games, All African Indoor Games, Commonwealth Indoor, Asian Indoor.
Let's go Commonwealth.
Incorrect. Asian Indoor Games.
Yeah, shoot, didn't know that one. I'm just an awful sports
What nickname
fan.
was shared by baseball's Roger Clemens, football's Raghib Ismail, tennis's Rod Laver, and hockey's Maurice Richard? Hammer, Roadrunner, Fireball, Rocket.
Let's go with the hammer.
Hammer's down.
Incorrect.
It was Rocket.
I was going to go with that
the
one,
Rocket,
too.
Roger Rocket Clemens.
Oh, jeez.
To skiers, which of these markers indicate a trail of maximum difficulty? A pictogram
Double
of
black
gravestone,
diamond.
Double black. Oh, yes, that is correct. Well done. You have 3 points. Here we go. Who did England beat in the 66 World Cup final? Italy, Brazil, Netherlands, West Germany.
Simon, what is it? Simon. We'll go with West Germany.
That would be correct.
Oh, thank you. I tapped my
well
inner
done.
Simon.
The inner British.
Cheers.
So you got
Yeah.
4 total points. You have a total of 9 total. 9 total. All right. So now I need 5 to tie, 6 to win.
The pressure is on. Out of 7 questions,
Here in our Quiz Up Showdown,
not
on
a
the
lot of
100th
room
episode,
for error.
The Bax and Grant Sports Show. I'm ready.
Not a lot of room for error.
I got this.
All right.
Put me in, Coach.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Question 1. What city's marathon ends in Copley Square in the Back Bay neighborhood? New York, London, Chicago, or Boston?
Boston.
That is correct.
There's 1.
Pressure. slam ball is basically basketball. With what unusual addition?
Trampolines.
That's what I would go with. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
So you didn't ask the question.
Sorry. I did not give off the options. I apologize. The Harlem Globetrotters compete in what sport? Basketball, ice hockey, baseball, American
basketball.
Football. Okay, you're getting easier questions than I did.
That's not my fault. We don't know what these last questions entail.
Which London soccer club is nicknamed the Blues? Reading, QPR, Chelsea, or Tottenham?
Chelsea!
I was gonna say,
Woo!
stupid soccer question.
Let's go.
You're
let's
getting
go.
What?
Yes.
The Green Bay Packers compete in which sport?
American football.
That is so
It's all tied up. Here we go for the win.
So rude. Souping is a term used
Oh,
in
come on.
winter sport. Oh, come on. Speed skating, luge, snowboarding, or curling?
Curling. No, luge.
It's curling. What?
Oh, no, I've won. Last question. Here we go.
In 1875, Matthew Webb became the first person to swim what body of water?
English Channel.
Perfect
score, Grant.
Oh, my God. You got some easy what sport did the Green Bay Packers play?
Some people might not know that, Grant.
Yeah, but for you...
I didn't pick the questions. This is randomized on Quiz Up. That's what it came.
Okay,
up
that's
to
fair
be.
for last time because last time I got all
you
the
did. So
super
last
easy
time
ones.
you beat me 11-9. This time I beat you 11-9.
I think it's the curse of the super easy to compare to the super hard question.
It kills us sometimes.
I didn't know. I played curling for 3 years and I've never heard of swooping.
Well,
I think they meant to say sweeping.
Maybe it was a spell check.
I think it might be a spelling error.
Special thanks to Joe Wolfrath for writing a different version of Quiz Up.
swooping.
He created a different app so I would personally win. No, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. I would never cheat that hard just to win a Quiz Up game.
Yeah, you would.
Hey, if Joel wants to write an app that every answer I get is always right, that's fine.
Just put little settings.
The man works
in.
for IBM. He can do what he wants. He can write anything he wants.
Change the world.
He can. Together, changing the world. IBM. I don't know if that's actually what their thing is.
No, that's like some generic trying to take over the world company
Together,
in a movie.
we will take over the world.
It's like, we need to stop this company. We need to take them out.
Yes. Anyway. That theme music, Grant, means that our show is coming to a close. 100 episodes in the bag officially.
Count
Seems
it.
just like yesterday, Grant.
4, 3,
Woo!
and 1.
And 1. Count it. I don't remember the signal. What is it for?
Well, like body
that's right,
check.
it's like boom,
yeah. If they
whatever.
not body check, but body
Body
foul.
foul, yeah.
Yeah, they do the and then 1.
And 1. There we go. Well, we'll be back again and in greater numbers on Monday. You're not going to want to miss it. Backs and Grant Sports Show. Triple digits, Grant. Triple digits. You're not going to want to miss it at all. Special thanks to Simon Mitchell, Corey Plath, Sam Wallace, and Connor Christensen.
All the people
that came on the show today, and everybody that has made the Backs and Grant Sports Show possible. It really means a lot to me.
Who has ever guested?
It is.
Ever guested?
Guested?
Guested.
Guest starred. Appeared.
Made their presence be felt.
Yes, that's more accurate. Thank you again, Grant. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to going into the triple digits.
Woo-hoo!
Monday night,
We're going steady, some might say.
Exactly. Oh, you could say things are getting serious.
Yeah, you could say.
Absolutely. Well, remember, you can get us Monday through Friday. We'll see you again on Monday at 7 a.m. You can get us from 7 to 8 a.m. Central live on Spreaker.com, and you can get us on Periscope as well, live at the same time. You can get us on Sports Radio America from 11 to 1 p.m. Central, and live 365 and TuneIn, and then on demand on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and on Spreaker.com.
You can also find us on Facebook at the Backs and Grant Sports Show. We are also on Twitter and Instagram at BG Sports Show. Baxter is on Twitter at Baxter Colburn. I am also on Twitter at Grant's Rant BGSS.
Absolutely. Go back. Let us know what you thought of this show and up to the first 100 shows that we've done, and maybe what the next 100 are going to entail for us. He's Grant Coppersmith. I'm Baxter Colburn. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, if it happens in the sports world, Grant's either going to rant about it or it's going to be talked about here on the Backs and Grant Sports Show. Enjoy your day, everybody, and good luck this weekend in fantasy football, and go Packers!